"Why don't you kiss me the way you used to?" I begged, and tried not to hate myself for the desperation in my voice. I don't know why the words had to spill out now. The worst possible time. "Cassidy, baby, I'm sorry, but I've gotta go," Brian said, caressing his phone like it was the lover I used to be, pointing his toes away from me and towards the door. "I just want you to kiss me like you mean it again," I whispered, trying to sound light and flirty and sexy, trying to ignore the panicked thunder of my heart in my chest, trying to ignore the voice in my head screaming that he didn't really love me no matter what he said, that after just 9 months together, he was getting bored of me already, that I was losing him before our relationship had even really begun. Honk! We both jumped as the Uber driver leaned on his horn. "Cassie, I love you so much, but I can't miss my flight. And then his hands were on my hips, and his strong arms pulled me against him, and every cell in my body yearned for him to kiss me like he used to when I was exciting and new for him, like I was the only woman in the world for him, like he wanted me and only me forever. "Love you, honey. I'll see you in a week and we'll talk about this," he said, and gave me a dry, boring, lifeless peck on the lips like he was kissing his grandma. And then he was gone, and I was alone with my terrible thoughts and a sense of growing doom in my heart. That night, I lay in bed feeling worthless and unattractive and lonely and scared, tossing and turning and listening to myself cry, wondering what had gone so wrong. I glanced at the picture of us I kept as the background on my phone and felt like I was punched in the gut, because I saw the look of absolute adoration on his face that made me feel cherished and loved and certain, the look I barely recognize now, because he hadn't looked at me like that in months. The look I was terrified he would be giving some other woman right now because she was young and pretty and new. When we first got together, we'd made out like movie stars. I always felt so soft and small and feminine and safe in his arms. I'd feel a deep primal growl in his chest every time he kissed me, and I knew he loved me and knew he was the one with no doubt at all. We'd even secretly laugh at friends who said the passion had died in their relationship because we knew we were special. We knew we were meant for each other, and that could never happen to us. But now, love you, honey, and sex when we had time. I lay there burying my face in my tear-stained pillow, feeling like a fool for thinking this time would be different. I thought about how I looked in the mirror, how men didn't stare the same way anymore, how long it had taken to meet a good man like Brian in the first place, after my heart had been broken so many times in the past by losers and scammers and guys who just wanted sex. I thought of Brian thousands of miles away, giving other women the look he was only supposed to give me. And in that moment, I knew I was at an important crossroads in my life. I knew I had to do something. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized I had just 3 options. 1. I could pretend this was just normal, that this happened to everybody. I could give myself to this man and just accept that you could have passion or companionship, but not both. 2. I could end things with Brian. I could tear my heart to shreds and get back on the endless dating treadmill, put myself through the emotional brutality of dating today, risk ending up alone again, or with someone I didn't love half as much as Brian. Or I could make the choice I did. The scary choice. The brave choice. The choice to discover the truth about what passion and chemistry and spark actually mean to men, and why it's very different than what it means to us women. The truth about why men seem to lose interest in you after a while, no matter how hot you are or how hard you try to keep his attention on you. The truth about how to keep the desire and connection in your relationship, whether you're together for 2 weeks or 40 years. The completely irrational truth that leaves so many women lonely and sad instead of being loved by a man forever the way you deserve. I had a week before Brian got back. A week to learn what I hadn't learned in decades. A week to save my relationship and save my future. The next morning, I fired up my laptop, nervous and excited about what I was going to learn. But quickly, I got frustrated. And then angry. All over the internet, all I found was a mix of half-baked advice about getting men to chase you and ways to communicate with a man when we all know the last thing men want to do is talk, and tricks to keep him interested that a nice girl like me would never do. I almost gave up. But then, late at night, I found him. This one so-called relationship expert named Michael Fiore, who I followed on Facebook, and who has over 2 million followers. Reading article after article he wrote, I felt like I finally found a man who understood. I read testimonial after testimonial from women saying this guy had saved their relationship, and I hoped and prayed he could help me. I just about had a panic attack when I saw how much he charged. $500 for just an hour of his time. But then I counted down the days until Brian returned, and thought about what would happen if he love you honeyed me when he came in the door. And I took out my credit card and took the plunge. Tell me everything, he said. So I did. I told him what happened with Brian, and with Steve and Tim, and every other relationship I'd had that fizzled to nothing before it got started. How lonely I was even when I was dating someone I really liked. How sick I was of being disappointed again and again. How scared I was of ending up old and alone like my mom. After listening closely, Michael looked me in the eye through the computer screen with kindness and understanding in his eyes. And then he told me a secret that changed my life forever. A secret that I realize now has sabotaged every relationship I've ever had before I learned it. A secret I'm going to share with you right now. Cassidy, he said in a deep voice that sent shivers up my spine. This might sound odd, but a lot of the problems you're having come down to kissing. What you need to understand is that a kiss is a conversation. Every time you kiss a man, you're communicating with him on a deep, primal, genetic, animal level. The way you tilt your head, how you hold your body against his, what you do with your lips and tongue, all of it sends an unconscious message to the primitive part of a man. The mistake you're making is letting him control the conversation, letting him decide what you talk about. I promise you, if you just do what I'm about to tell you, everything will change and you'll never go through this again. And then he explained the 3 things a woman must say to a man with every kiss to make him fall in love with you if he isn't already, and reawaken his love and lust for you forever if he already is. I typed furiously on my computer as he explained. First, your kiss needs to say, "You are safe," and use feminine softness to invite him to let down his shields and reveal the vulnerable part of himself to you. Because as long as he has his emotional armor on, it's impossible for him to open his heart to you. Second, your kiss must say, "You are powerful," and feed the part of his masculine soul that needs the adoration and respect of his woman. And third, your kiss needs to say, "I give myself to you because I am valuable and you have earned me," to make the testosterone thunder through his veins, to make him feel like you are his to protect and cherish. As long as you say these 3 things to any man with your kiss, he will be yours, mind, body, and soul, forever. And then I felt my mouth go dry and my heart beat like a hummingbird as he explained exactly how to kiss a man to make him love you forever. I felt like a fool practicing the techniques he taught me on my hand in the bathroom. The day Brian got home, I met him at the door. He looked nervous, like he thought I was going to start a fight. I was shaking like a leaf, but the moment he put his bags down, I took his face in my hands, looked up into his eyes, and used the primal passion kiss to tell him what he meant to me and just how happy I was to see him. "What was that?" he asked, with a look of delighted shock on his face. And then he said nothing at all as I kissed him again. And then a wide smile carved itself across my face as he took me in his arms, carried me to the bedroom, made love to me with the intensity and urgency and need he had the very first time, and didn't look at his phone for hours, because for the first time in forever, he was completely focused on me. The next day, my best friend, Maggie, asked me why I was so happy all of a sudden, why all the tension between Brian and me disappeared like water down a drain, why we were talking about the future we wanted together again. Without even thinking, I told her about the mouth-to-mouth method Michael taught me. She called me at lunch the next day thanking me and telling me Brad was looking at her in a way he hadn't in 9 years, and they were suddenly lovers again, instead of just co-parents. My sister Sarah complained to me about the guy she liked who was taking his time finally kissing her. I told her about the kiss magnet method Michael had taught me, and we both laughed like we were teenagers again when she told me how he practically crawled across the table to get to her, and kissed her with so much passion she blushed bright red. And then things started to get a little out of hand. Sarah has never been good at keeping a secret. My notes from my call with Michael started getting passed around to all her friends, and the messages on Facebook started rolling in. Single women telling me they'd use these methods to make men beg to be their boyfriends. Coupled women telling me just changing the way they kiss made him finally ready to truly commit. Women who had been married for decades saying their husbands couldn't keep their hands or lips off of them. And, unbelievably, it was all because they learned to kiss in this almost magical way. Eventually, the guilt was too much, and I called Michael, apologized for what I'd done by sharing his work, even though he asked me not to. And after thinking of all the pain I was in for so long, and how many other women were suffering just like I had been, women who could never afford to pay $500 for an hour of his time, I swallowed my pride and flat out begged him to share these secrets with the world. At first, he refused. He was angry that I'd broken his trust the way I did, and how many women needed to know this. He finally agreed. Over the next few months, I worked with Michael to pull out every secret, every technique, every trick, and every idea out of him. Secrets like the 8 simple steps of a man-melting kiss, how to pause the world so kissing you suddenly becomes the single most important thing in his life, how to demand his absolute presence and attention so he doesn't even glance at his phone, how to pull him to you like a tractor beam, create stunning electricity the moment his lips graze yours, feel his absolute surrender to his overwhelming passion for you, and leave him stunned, satisfied, and desperate for more, while making him feel 10 feet tall, as he suddenly discovers a depth of emotion inside himself he simply never knew was there, until you woke it up for him. The secret reason men need to kiss with their eyes closed, what an open-eyed kiss says about how a man truly feels about you, and how to use kissing meditation to force any man's eyes to close almost against his will so the whole world fades away and all he can think about is you and the incredible way you make him feel. The amazing monogamy kiss method, and exactly how to kiss your man before he goes off on a trip or you're not going to see him for a few days, so the idea of even looking at another woman makes him feel nauseous and ill. The secret of kissing empathy, how to listen to a man's most secret heart without him saying a word, and how to know exactly how he really feels about you without ever having to ask. Why men are so nervous about kissing you. The secret anxiety script every man has in his head about going for that first kiss. And the subtle, silent kiss magnet method that draws a man irresistibly to your lips while believing deep in his soul the whole thing is his and only his idea. If you've ever desperately wanted a man to kiss you but he just wouldn't take the hint, this one method will change your life forever. The spark test, and how to know exactly how good a man is in bed simply by running your tongue along the edge of his lower lip. Why the way you're kissing now has accidentally convinced man after man that you don't really like him. And how to infuse every kiss you have with every ounce of the feminine vulnerability men crave deep in their bones. How to create movie star kiss moments. Warning, do this right, and he may find himself wanting to kiss you even more than he wants to have sex. Remember in high school when you could kiss and make out for hours and keep his attention the entire time without even trying? You'll use the high school makeout method to give him more pleasure just from kissing you than he does from having sex with any other woman he's ever met. Plus, this sneaky technique will subtly turn back the clock, so he feels that same intense, overwhelming desire for you he did the very first day you met, even if you've been together for weeks, months, or even decades. The timeout kiss that cuts through his emotional shields, stops even the most vicious fights in their tracks, and turns all his anger into overwhelming passion and desire for you. Sick of first dates that never turn into second dates? You'll discover the 5 important rules of a first kiss that will have him seeing you as the one, even if he's not looking for anything serious now. Plus, I can't wait for you to feel the power humming through your veins when you realize how this simple method puts you in the dating driver's seat and gives you absolute control over who you see again. You'll learn what Michael really means when he says, a kiss is a conversation, and how to learn the secret vocabulary of kissing to say anything you want to a man without uttering a word. Even better, you'll learn how to listen with your mouth so you can discover the deep emotional messages he's been trying to tell you every time you've kissed in the past, but you just didn't know how to hear. Do you feel like your man always kisses you the way he wants to kiss you without thinking what you want? Michael will give you a simple 5-step trick to slow down even the most eager man so he suddenly finds himself savoring every moment with you, drinking in your passion and femininity, bending over backwards to give you every intimate, connected moment you yearn for. Why married people kisses kill relationships. The insidious kissing habit 99 couples out of 100 automatically fall into. And a simple 3-word phrase you can say to stop any man dead in his tracks, no matter how much of a rush he's in. Take you into his arms and kiss you like a princess so your toes curl and your heart soars. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I barely have time to tell you about so many of the astonishing techniques in the program we decided to call How to Kiss a Man to Make Him Fall in Love. Techniques like the primal passion kiss. This is the kiss I used on Brian when he came home that led to the most amazing night of my life. Use it and you'll wake up the ravenous sexual beast in your man so he'd crawl across broken glass just to taste you. Warning. Only use this kiss when you have time and space to be properly ravished by your man. When you do it right, he won't be able to help himself but rip your clothes off and make love to you right then and there. The lip tease, and how to wake up every nerve in his body with nothing but the very tip of your tongue. Even better, you can do this in public. You haven't lived until you had your man convulsing with need with nothing but a seemingly innocent kiss. The mouth-to-mouth method I gave to my friend Maggie, and how to share your breath with a man so he forgets where you stop and he begins. This method might seem weird at first, but the feeling of connection you'll experience as you breathe as one will astound you. The eyelid kiss, and how to make a man feel truly loved, seen, and understood in seconds, so all his pain and anger fades away, and all he can feel is appreciation that he has such an amazing woman in his life. The mirror universe kiss, and why tilting your head the wrong way can make him feel like he's seeing, feeling, and tasting you for the very first time. And much, much more than I have time to list out here. Okay, can you feel that? Your heart beating, the dryness in your mouth, that incredible desire to know this, to be able to do this, to have this power and control over your romantic destiny, to have that special man need you and only you, like this, to finally be able to get out of dating hell whenever you want, or to have the spark and passion in your relationship as hot as a bonfire and making every other woman you know jealous? Let me ask you, how much is it worth to have this at your fingertips? How much is it worth to be his ultimate fantasy? How much is it worth to know you can fix almost any problem that comes into your relationship just by kissing him? I don't want to bring you down here, but I see so many women every day in misery because they don't understand men. They drag their boyfriends or husbands to couples counseling, which costs thousands of dollars and does absolutely nothing to give you the attention and connection and devotion you deserve. Or women who complain about being alone, who spend so much money on dating sites and fancy clothes, but who just don't understand the psychology of masculine attraction and need. So think about that for a second. Keeping that solid in your mind, what do you think would be a fair price to change your life like this forever? Like I said, I paid Michael $500 to learn these secrets and feel like I got an amazing deal doing so. But how much is it worth it to you? I wouldn't expect you to pay $500 like I did for Michael's time, but if you're being completely honest with yourself, I'd bet you'd say $297 or even more would be totally and completely fair to feel that confidence. Heck, I bet you'd think that was cheap to never have to feel that anxiety with men again. To never have to wonder again how he felt about you, because you can feel the passion and desire and love emanating off him like heat from a stove. But you know what? I'm a woman myself, and I get it. I know that even when you want something so much and know it's a total steal at the price you're paying, as a woman who spent so much of your life giving and giving and giving to others, as a woman, sometimes you just can't give yourself what you need. If my story resonates with you, then I feel like you and I have a lot in common. I feel like we're sisters. Which is why I flat out begged Michael to let me offer you How to Kiss a Man to Make Him Fall in Love at a discounted price you simply aren't going to believe. So, because you've given me some of your precious time, you're not going to pay $297. I'm not going to ask you to invest $197. For you, the retail price of How to Kiss a Man to Make Him Fall in Love is just one single payment of $97. And if you take action right now, I'll give you a whopping 60% off. Simply click the button below and you'll get the complete program for the discounted price of just $37. Immediate action discount. But you have to act right now. I know what it's like to hem and haw and think about it, but I've put myself on the line with Michael here. I've convinced him to keep the price so low for now. But after working so hard on this program, sharing secrets he swore he would only share with his private high-end coaching clients, and hearing from the thousands of women who have already grabbed How to Kiss a Man to Make Him Fall in Love and gotten astonishing results with it, Michael feels like $37 is just way too cheap. And that to fulfill his mission to help as many women as possible, he may need to double or even triple the price to something more reasonable. So please, if you come back in a few hours or tomorrow and you can't get the discount anymore, please don't write me begging. If you pass it up now, there's just nothing I can do for you. Oh, and just to take away every excuse your brain can come up with not to do this for yourself, Michael has agreed to back everything up with a frankly incredible 100% 60-day money-back guarantee. Here's how it works. Just enroll in How to Kiss a Man to Make Him Fall in Love right now. Use the material. It's so easy to use and as close to done for you as humanly possible. See for yourself how much fun love and sex and romance can be when you know these secrets. If you don't think How to Kiss a Man to Make Him Fall in Love is worth at least double what you're paying today, just contact Michael's customer service at support@digitalromanceinc.com anytime in the next 60 days. And you'll get every dime back as fast as humanly possible. Why did I convince Michael to be so generous? Because as a woman who has felt the pain you are feeling, I want this for you. I want you to experience this incredible power and pleasure. And if I have to put myself out there a bit to help you, I'll gladly do just that. And all you have to do is click the button right below this video now. Okay, if you're not convinced yet, if there's still a little voice in the back of your head that isn't quite sure, let me do one more thing to knock you off the log. I want to make this easy for you. I want you to feel all the way deep in your bones that you're getting an incredible deal that you can be proud of. That's why I've got 3 very special presents for you just for saying maybe to how to kiss a man to make him fall in love today. First, you'll get the incredible Magnetic Lips program, where you'll learn simple, natural tricks to give you movie star lips men are magnetically attracted to. Simple tricks you can do with nothing but a bit of makeup to have men fixated on the incredible sensuality of your lips and mouth. Your second present definitely answers the question that gives women the most anxiety when it comes to dating and love. It's called When to Sleep with a Man, and tells you specifically how fast or slow you should go with a man depending on what kind of relationship you want, and to make sure he never thinks of you as a slut. Your third present is something a bit shocking. In fact, I can't give this to everyone, but if you act right now, you'll get the Relationship Time Machine, a simple, almost hypnotic technique you can use with a man to instantly rewind his feelings for you, so he feels as much passion and desire for you now as he did when you first met, even if that was years or decades ago. So let's add all this up just so you can see for yourself what a great deal you're actually getting. With your special discount, you'll get the complete How to Kiss a Man to Make Him Fall in Love program for just $37. We already agreed that How to Kiss a Man to Make Him Fall in Love is worth at least $97 all by itself. But then, at no additional charge at all, you're also getting Magnetic Lips, When to Sleep with a Man, and the Relationship Time Machine. And each of those should probably sell for $97 or more all by themselves, too. If you were at the supermarket, that would all add up to $388. But using your special discount, which Michael could force me to stop offering at any time, you'll get everything for just $37. I don't know about you, but if I was at the store, swiped my membership card, and saw my bill for $400 worth of stuff plummet to less than $40, I'd feel like I won the lottery, or like there was some mistake. But no matter what, I'd rush to claim my discount before anyone tried to take it away. And all you have to do to claim your discount and take advantage of this amazing deal is click the big button right below this video right now. Then fill in your payment details using a credit card, debit card, or PayPal on the next page. Once you do, you'll get your special login credentials, so you can access How to Kiss a Man to Make Him Fall in Love on your phone, tablet, or computer anywhere you want, anytime you need it. Just click the button below this video right now. Pay your severely discounted enrollment fee. Go through the program. Learn the secrets of masculine sensuality to make him yours and only yours for as long as you want him. Use these tested and proven techniques. Feel what it's like to have a man want you and only you, mind, body, and soul. Experience how much fun you can have with a man and feel all that stress drain away like water. Feel a level of sexy confidence that fills every cell of your body. If you're anything like me or the thousands of other women who have used this program, you're going to be amazed at the change in your life and the change in you once you learn this. How every man you meet just looks at you differently. How guys who never took you seriously find themselves ignoring other women and thinking only of you. If you're like most women, you're going to have a hard time wiping the goofy smile off your face, or keeping that joyous sparkle out of your eyes, or keeping your mouth shut when other women ask to know your secret that created such a change in you, seemingly overnight. Okay, it's time to take action. You're at a crossroads right now, just like I was before I took the plunge and learned these secrets myself. And you really just have 2 very different options, leading to 2 very different lives. Option 1 is to leave this page without enrolling in the program. I think you already know what will happen if you do this. That heavy feeling in your heart, that sense that you made a mistake, didn't take an opportunity you wanted so much, that widening gap between you and men. You don't want that, which is why I want you to take a second here and seriously consider taking road number 2. Just say yes right now. Click the button, enter your payment information right now before life gets in the way, and enroll in the How to Kiss a Man to Make Him Fall in Love program. Get every single thing I've talked about in this video, and quite a few surprises I haven't even mentioned, but I can't wait for you to see. Learn how to bond with a man in a way he's simply never felt before without saying a word. With your 60-day guarantee, you're risking absolutely nothing. And with your special discount, you're getting 60% off. Let me leave you with one final and incredibly important lesson. Do you know what men find irresistibly attractive in women? Decisiveness. The ability to see something you want, and you can feel you want this so much, and go after it. If you feel like there's a canyon between you and men, if you aren't getting your emotional and physical needs so much more than met, just make a tiny, easy decision right now. I've unlocked the door. All you have to do is walk through it. I hope you understand that I've stacked the deck so much in your favor that you can't lose. Actually, there is one way you can lose, by walking away from this wonderful opportunity. But you've suffered and craved real, lasting passion long enough. Just click the button below. I personally promise you'll be happy you did. Because I'm so happy I did. I'm so happy I took a chance with Michael, used what he taught me to make sure I'll never end up on the dating roller coaster again. In fact, I have a nightmare sometimes. A nightmare where I didn't trust my gut and learn what Michael had to teach me. Where I'm completely clueless about what I was doing so very, very wrong. Where the love and passion I wanted with Brian never came back. Whenever I have that nightmare, I wake up in a cold sweat, terrified I've gone back to that life. Then I look at my husband, Brian, laying next to me. The man I use the techniques and how to kiss a man to make him fall in love with every day to keep him devoted and even addicted to me. The man who got a look on his face like he won the lottery when the priest said he could kiss the bride. And I smile, cuddle up to him, feel the steady thump of his heartbeat as he pulls me close, and go back to sleep more content and happy than I've ever been. I want you to feel that too. And you can. But only if you click the button below and enroll in How to Kiss a Man to Make Him Fall in Love right now before it's too late. My name is Cassidy Lyon, and I'm incredibly excited for you to join me in experiencing what happens when you apply How to Kiss a Man to Make Him Fall in Love in your life. I can't wait to hear about your success. Thank you for your time. Simply click the button below to secure your spot now.